They said the age of big, gas-guzzling V8s was over, that America had turned its back on muscle, on thunder, on the kind of raw power you feel in your chest long before your ears catch it. And yet, here we are, the 2025 Ford F-150 Raptor R, armed with a supercharged 5.2-liter V8, isn't just alive, it's louder, meaner, and more unapologetic than ever. But here's the twist. This beast isn't perfect. In fact, one major flaw could be the deciding factor that keeps some people from putting it in their driveway. Stick around, because once you hear it, you'll understand. And if you're the kind of person who loves discovering the truth behind the hype, subscribe now. Because this channel is where we pull back the curtain on the cars everyone's talking about and the ones no one dares to challenge. From the outside, the 2025 Raptor R is pure intimidation on wheels. That massive blacked-out grille still shouts Ford in block letters, a design cue that's now as iconic as the truck itself. The hood bulge, functional not just for show, hints at the supercharged monster breathing underneath. Wide fenders flare out, wrapping around 37-inch all-terrain tires that look ready to claw their way up a canyon wall. And those LED signature lights? Sharp, angular, almost predatory. This isn't a truck that blends in at the Home Depot parking lot. It dominates the view, whether you're on Main Street or halfway across a dune field. Step inside and the story changes. The cabin of the 2025 Raptor R doesn't just feel like a truck. It feels like a command center. Premium Recaro sports seats wrapped in leather and Alcantara grip you tight, while contrast stitching and carbon fiber trim remind you that this isn't a workhorse, it's a weapon. The 12-inch digital gauge cluster gives you live readouts on everything from tire pressure to off-road telemetry. Meanwhile, the central 12-inch touchscreen runs Ford's Sync 4 system, complete with wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and over-the-air updates. Add in a Bang & Olufsen sound system with 18 speakers and you've got concert-level audio to match the roar of that V8. Ambient lighting, massive storage spaces, and rear seating that's actually comfortable for adults. It's luxury wrapped in armor plating. Now let's talk numbers. The 2025 Ford F-150 Raptor R carries forward its crown jewel, the 5.2-liter Predator V8, borrowed from the Shelby GT500. Supercharged, tuned, unleashed. The result? 720 horsepower and 660 pound-feet of torque. Yes, you heard that right. Ford pushed it even further for 2025. That translates to a 0 to 60 sprint in just under 4.0 seconds. Think about that. A full-size pickup truck weighing nearly 3 tons, launching harder than some European sports cars. And thanks to a 10-speed automatic gearbox paired with a reinforced 4-wheel drive system, that power isn't just for show, it's channeled into real, usable performance. Efficiency? Let's be honest. This isn't a Prius. You're looking at around 12 miles per gallon in the city, maybe 16 on the highway if you're gentle. But fuel economy was never the point. The point is dominance. As for dimensions, the Raptor R stretches over 231 inches long, nearly 87 inches wide, and rides on a 145-inch wheelbase. It seats 5 in absolute comfort, while the bed still gives you serious utility for hauling gear. Towing capacity? Up to 8,200 pounds. Enough to drag your weekend toys without breaking a sweat. On safety, Ford didn't cut corners. You get the Co-Pilot 360 suite, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, pre-collision braking, plus a 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5 years on the powertrain. In other words, Ford's confidence matches the Raptor R's muscle. Up to now, the Raptor R sounds like perfection, but here's the catch, the flaw I teased earlier. For all its power, all its presence, the Raptor R suffers from a problem that's impossible to ignore: accessibility. At nearly $115,000 starting price, this truck isn't for everyone. Add in options and you're staring down $130,000. And that doesn't even touch the practicality issue. The size, the fuel economy, the sheer bulk. It makes daily driving in tight city streets a headache. It's the dream truck you want, but for many, it's the dream you'll admire from afar. And of course, the Raptor R doesn't live in a vacuum. Its fiercest rival is the Ram 1500 TRX, another supercharged V8 monster. But here's the thing. Stellantis announced the TRX is bowing out, at least in its current form, making the Raptor R the last true V8 performance truck standing. That makes it both a legend and an endangered species. Looking forward, the market is shifting. Hybrids, plug-ins, full EV trucks like the F-150 Lightning are climbing fast. And while Ford might eventually electrify the Raptor, the 2025 Raptor R could go down in history as the final chapter of an era. A living fossil, roaring proudly while the world moves quietly toward batteries and silence. So what do we make of the 2025 Ford F-150 Raptor R? It's a truck that laughs at compromise. A truck that exists not because it's logical, but because it's necessary. For those who still believe vehicles should thrill, not just transport. It's flawed, yes. Expensive, thirsty, over the top. But it's also glorious, unforgettable, and perhaps the last of its kind. Would you buy the Raptor R, knowing it might be the final V8 performance truck we ever see? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive. And don't forget to subscribe, because next week, we're taking on its electric sibling, the F-150 Lightning, head-to-head. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.